It's already been 2 years since the Ultimatum Queer Love Season 1, and now they want to take it to Florida? Oh my, I don't even know how else to say that I'm ready. Maybe with my theme music. Okay. It was the wrong music. All right, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, today we're breaking down the first 6 episodes of Season 2 of the Ultimatum Queer Love. And that's all I've seen. But I'm going to be talking about them like you've seen them too. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers, let's see what's up with Q2. Get it? It's like Q2, like Queer Love 2. But it's also like the second quarter of the year. A little finance bro humor. No? Okay, super quick background here because you should already know the deal with the Ultimatum. But just in case you don't, you better hit that subscribe button because I don't explain this thing a million times. All right, The Ultimatum is another Netflix reality dating show brought to us by Chris Colin. Chris Colin is the same dude that brought us Love is Blind, etc., etc. The concept, while being wildly problematic, is indeed simple. You bring a handful of couples together. One person in each of those couples has issued their partner an ultimatum. Either marry me right the fuck now or I'm gone. Then all these couples get to mixing and to mingling because each of them has to find someone else that they vibe with. When they do find this second special someone, they're going to spend 3 weeks together in a trial marriage. After that 3 weeks, they're going to spend 3 weeks in a trial marriage with the person that they came with. After all that, they'll decide if they want to leave with the person they came with, leave with that new thing, or leave alone. Now, there's been a couple different flavors of the Ultimatum, but it's good to see Queer Love back just in time for Pride Month. When this thing came out in 2023, it quickly became a lot of people's favorite one. After all the dust has settled, though, it likely sits at the number 2 spot behind the Ultimatum South Africa. If you know, you freaking know. Boom! Episode 1. This one's called Either You Want to Marry Me or You Don't. We're not going to waste any time here. Our host, again, for Season 2 is JoAnna Garcia Swisher. She's not queer, but I don't know if I care about that, and she's still better than Nick and Vanessa. Okay, here go our couples. We have 6. First up, we have AJ and Brittany. AJ is 29. Brittany is 27. They've been dating for 5 years, and it was Brittany that gave AJ the ultimatum. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that Brittany's one of the baddest things Netflix has ever brought us. RIP to your DMs when this thing is all said and done. Anyway, one of Brittany's remaining goals in life is to get married, and that's because she's largely accomplished most of her other ones. Go off, sis. AJ, aka the Rizzler, tells Brittany that the stars combust trying to compete with her beauty. Whatever the hell that means. AJ says she loves everything about Brittany, but she has reservations. She wants to be in a place in her life where she can give Brittany the life she deserves. It's the same old song and dance we hear all the time in the Ultimatum. Brittany's trying to tell her like, hey, none of that matters. We can grow together. Now, Brittany don't really want to be on this show, and AJ's about to have the time of her life. There's a scene where Brittany asks AJ, do you really think you can fall for someone else? AJ's looking at her like, listen, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Literally, yes. You can too. Next up, we got Marie and Mel. They're both 27. They've been dating for 4 years, and it was Marie that gave Mel the ultimatum. Apparently, they started a food truck together around the same time that they started dating, so this is literally now business and pleasure. Always makes things a little more complicated when you gotta go to work together. Mel's basically saying she doesn't want marriage or kids because she doesn't want to fuck it up. She's never seen a healthy marriage around her, poor thing. Then we got Haley and Pilar. They're both 29 and they've been dating for 10 years. These damn girls have been dating since Barack Obama was in office. Anyway, it was Haley that issued Pilar the ultimatum. Haley's like, look, we know almost everything about each other, but there's another level that we can get to, and I want to get there. Pilar's argument is that if they do get married, she wants her family to be a part of it, and her family has not talked to her since she came out. Yikes. Super freaking yikes. I mean, we find out a little later how Pilar really feels about marriage, so this is kind of a cop-out, but it doesn't change the fact that her family does indeed suck. Moving on, we got Kyle and Bridget. Kyle is 30, Bridget is 29. They've been dating for about 2.5 years, and it was Kyle that gave Bridget the ultimatum. Apparently, when Kyle moved to LA, she hopped on the dating apps, as one does when you go to a new city. Met Bridget the first freaking weekend. Good Lord. Listen, y'all better get back on them because it's love happening out there. Honestly, I kind of like their quick story here. As far as Bridget goes, she thinks the level of commitment that they have is enough. She doesn't want to just get married just to do it. Okay, next up, we got Marita and Ashley. Marita is 25. Ashley is 30. They've been dating for about 3 years, and it was Ashley that gave Marita the ultimatum because Ashley says that Marita has wandering eyes. In Marita's defense, she says it's normal for me to have wandering eyes if I'm not getting the love that I deserve in the relationship that I'm in. Oh, they are cooked. Marita says she gives Ashley the moon, and she just wants that back in return. Ashley's like, I feel like I give her a lot. The moon, Ashley. She wants the moon. A lot just ain't gonna cut it. All right, last but not least, we have Megan and Dana. Megan is 27. Dana is 25. They've been dating for about 1.5 years. Dana issued Megan the ultimatum, and I'll be remiss if I didn't mention how much I hate how Megan spells Megan. Megan. Anyway, that's not important. What is important is the fact that Megan is Lebanese.
Can I help you?
You Puerto Rican?
Lebanese.
I feel that.
Not now, Kevin G. The point is that her family doesn't want her to be with a woman. She says nobody is out and proud in the Arab community. And Dana's basically like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. She's like, I will absolutely walk away if Megan doesn't stand up to her parents. And I think I'm on Dana's side here. From the looks of Megan, she could probably beat up her whole family. Okay, the couple intros are complete. Now we get to mixing and the mingling because our speed dating has begun. Here goes some highlights and some lowlights. Mel and Dana hang first, and they both have zero risk. Mel's like, ooh, Dana's our trouble. Literally, no one has ever said that. Then Dana's like, so is Mel short for Melanie? Mel's like, ooh, no, close. It's short for Melissa, obviously. If it was so obvious, why? Never mind. Over to Megan talking to Pilar. If you remember correctly, these are the two whose families don't approve of their lifestyles. Megan tells Pilar that her family just doesn't want her to be gay. Well, it's a good thing she went on a Netflix TV show where she's not only going to be dating one woman, she's going to be dating 10. I hope her family doesn't cancel their Netflix because I know her grandma is tweaking right now. On Pilar's side, she said she hasn't spoken to her family in 3 years. 3 years? That means they don't even know how she feels about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Anyway, they both get emotional because their families suck. Then Pilar hangs with Kyle. Kyle tells her that her ex, Bridget, doesn't want to get married because she wants things to be perfect. Pilar then tells Kyle how much she likes having different hobbies. Kyle's like, oh yeah, you'll love Bridget. Through the major freaking alley. Then what does Pilar do? Literally pulls right up on Bridget. Like, are you like hobbies? I'm just kidding. She didn't say that. But they do have a connection because they both have a fear of monotony. Pilar, you've been dating Haley for 10 years. You got to be the last person worried about monotony. Anyway, Bridget tells Pilar that she does a lot of freelance stuff for work and how sometimes she's rich and sometimes she's poor because she's bad at saving. Listen, taste takers, you got to be good at saving, but you got to be better at investing. $100 a week, $100 a month if you're younger. Live below your means, you'll end up rich. But that's not financial advice. Over to AJ and Haley talking. Like I said, AJ's out here having the time of her life. All poor Brittany could do is watch and hate. Then AJ talks to Marie. They find out that they both live in Orlando. Watch this though, this shit is crazy. AJ's like, yeah, I'm in Orlando, bought a house out there. Marie's like, wow, you bought a house out there? AJ's like, well, she bought the house. If I'm being honest. Like, imagine you brought your girl on a show like The Ultimatum that you didn't even want to go on. Like, y'all left the house that you paid for your girl to come out here and fall in love with 6 other women. Brittany finally talks to someone, though. She spends some time with Mel, but they're kind of just talking about their exes. Mel says she's looking for someone that wants her but doesn't need her. Don't we all? Brittany tells Mel that she thinks that it's AJ's pride that's getting in the way of her wanting to settle down. I mean, it sounds like Brittany is literally bringing the whole house to the table. And AJ brought the napkins. And speaking of AJ, she then spends some time with Marita. Marita, who calls herself a hopeless romantic. AJ, aka Elizabeth Taylor, is like, nah, no way. How much of a romantic are you? Because I too am a hopeless romantic. Marita tells her she once wrote her lover a 98-page novel about their love with pictures. And honestly, that's so freaking nice. But if someone did that for me, I'm afraid my bitch ass would ask for it in audiobook. Either way, Marita feels a spark with AJ. Over to the cocktail party. Here are the headlines. Brittany comes through literally eating everybody's fucking lunch. AJ, aka RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, talking about how she likes everybody. Mel, no Riz having ass, pulls up on Brittany spitting some weak ass game. Marita grabs AJ and she's like, hey, I wrote a screenplay for you. No, I'm just kidding. She said she's just looking for an ounce of romance. She tells AJ she's blowing her away. And even though this won't work out, I did not see this connection coming. Marita's ex Ashley's over there looking like a dweeb. AJ and Marie connecting again because they both apparently from New York. Marie grew up in Brooklyn and AJ was just born there. She says that her parents got her out of New York at a young age because obviously you can't raise kids in New York. Oh, okay. Dana grabs Mel to talk, leaves Megan's boring ass looking sick. Dana's like, so I'm into you. Whoa, Dana is going all in. Honestly, they can make a whole show of Megan looking sick. She is not connecting with anyone. Then AJ and Brittany talk. Brittany's like, ugh, I just feel stupid for bringing you here. AJ's like, yeah, you're wild. This shit is fucking lit in here. I'm telling you right now, AJ seems like the type of person who will go on this show, make out with like 18 other women, and then at the end propose to Brittany because it was her all along. All right, then we got Megan pulling up in Dana's room. You guessed it, looking sick. Megan's telling Dana, look, I don't know if I can go through with this. Dana's like, why do you always want to leave when things get hard? Megan's like, you really think you can make a connection with someone out here? Dana's like, yeah. Megan says, I just don't know if I can get past certain things if they were to happen. And I need everyone to remember that she said that. Boom, episode 2. This one's called Love Triangles. We start right where we left off. Dana's trying to convince Megan to give it a chance. Somehow, she gets Megan to agree to stay. Before we leave out of there, it wouldn't be right if we didn't get a quick shot of Megan looking sick. Back over to Riz Marquis, a.k.a. AJ. She's talking about Marita like, yeah, Marita's fire. And my mom always told me, don't touch things that are hot. Ugh, what are you even talking about? Here we find out that Marie actually used to be a singer with a whole record deal, but now she works in sales. Damn, I hate to see it. But there's also a nice, like, vulnerable moment here with Marita telling AJ about her keloids and how, like, you know, she used to be, like, way more self-conscious, but today she feels much more comfortable, and we fucking love that. Over to Kyle and Pilar, who apparently have a connection. I don't know. I think Pilar wants Bridget. Anyway, they're both talking about their fears in coming out. Remember that Pilar's family don't fuck with her no more. She said she was living a double life for 8 years. You know how exhausting that sounds? Kyle's like, man, that's tough. I already knew my family would accept me, and I was still nervous to come out. But yeah, I guess Kyle's into her, Pilar's into Kyle, but Pilar's also into Bridget. And there go our, that's the triangle right there. And it's time for Pilar to get some action with the other side of that triangle. So she pulls up on Bridget all swirly and flirty. Okay, then out of nowhere, we get a date with Bridget and Lil Riz from B2K, aka AJ. And this shit started getting a little freaky. They're talking about sleeping naked, their turn on, shit really steaming up. Bridget's like, so, how often do you like to have sex? AJ's like, well, when it's new, all the time. But once we settle in, I'm thinking once or twice a week will be sufficient. Bridget's like, oh yeah, totally, that's cool. But also, like, every day would also be cool. Goddamn, Bridget, go off. And I don't know if you guys were waiting for this, but it is here where we get this season's first, oh my golly Wally, moment of the episode. This is where Bridget is telling AJ, like, yeah, my parents never really talked to me about sex. AJ's like, oh yeah, well, my mom definitely did. And let me just Let me read it how I wrote it, because I don't want to misspeak. I'm gonna read how I wrote it. AJ tells Bridget that her mom not only talked to her about sex, but when she brings girls over, she will ask them, when you... Stop. Okay. AJ tells Bridget that her mom not only talked to her about sex, but when she brings girls over, she will ask them, when you eat my... Stop. When you eat my daughter's pussy, does she enjoy it? And do you make her... come? Good fucking Lord. Like, what kind of mom talk like that? Even, like, most homegirls won't ask their homegirls that kind of shit in front of their girl. Anyway, over to Mel and Brittany. And Brittany, I see that Invisalign, boo. Go off. That's not important. What is important is that Mel tells Brittany that I think when she was born, she almost died. This leads to the conversation that she still has chronic pain tied to that illness. And is part of the reason why she has reservations in getting married. She's like, do I want to bring a partner into this? Because in her words, I won't live as long as them. Whoa. Over to Megan, who's finally talking to another human. We find out that Megan is a personal trainer. We kind of knew that. She also might take the MCATs. Okay, cool. I might also take the MCATs. Think about it. Haley works in food science, which they love. Then they start talking about kids. Kaylee's like, what's your position on having kids? Megan's like, oh yeah, definitely want kids, probably 2. Haley's like, absolutely not. I do not want kids. I can't even fathom the idea of carrying a child. Megan's like, well, I could carry your child. Which, great call out. Okay, now we're getting ready for cocktail party number 2. And because this is Tate's Take, I gotta shout out AJ for giving that Home Alone shout out. Anyway, to the party. AJ's talking to Marie again. Melanie's talking to Brittany again. I guess Brittany's telling Mel how she once won some twerking contest. Mel's like, whoa, I'm jealous. Jealous that I couldn't see it. If you don't shut your no-risk having ass up. Then here goes Dana showing her true controlling colors when she pulls up on Mel. She's like, what the hell? I feel like every time we're in public, you act like you don't know me. Dana, relax. Y'all just met yesterday. Then Dana tells her, I swear to God, don't waste my time, or I will drive your food truck into a river. Like, why would you say that? Then we get some alliance action because Megan is talking to AJ about how they both don't trust Mel. I mean, you really shouldn't. Megan says, and this is important, Mel seems like the type to initiate something physical, and I just can't get past it if something like that were to happen. Oh, okay. You know? But AJ is the voice of reason here. She's like, try not to take it too personal. It's all part of the game. You've also made connections here. Then we get a scene where Bridget is talking to Marita. And this is where Bridget finds out that AJ's also talking to her. Bridget's like, damn, how many connections does this bitch have? So now Bridget is tweaking like, damn, what if no one picks me? So she has to go scramble and grab Ashley, who I forgot was even on this damn show. I thought it was the host. Okay, let's get serious. It's now time for everybody to make their selections. Our actual host, JoAnna, goes to Bridget first. She's like, Bridget, how's your time been here? She says something about something. Then we go to AJ. She tells Bridget, you're the grooviest person here. Bridget's like, you've been saying the same shit to everybody. Then Brittany, freaking girlfriend of the year, she's like, let me jump in here. See, AJ has a condition. You guys have heard of HIV? Yeah. Well, AJ suffers from what's called RIZ. Okay. Golly, you guys never let me have any fun. Then AJ has to explain her connection with Marie. Take a look at Bridget's face here. Then we go to Marita, the third victim of AJ's RIZ. Marita's like, damn, well, I didn't know AJ was such a player. I'm learning all this right now, but I gotta follow my heart. Marita chooses AJ. She also has no one else that she could have chosen, so. Then Netflix is so damn sloppy. They go to Marie, who also chooses AJ. Now it's AJ's turn, but I know they're about to cliffhanger me, so, you know. Boom! Episode 3. This one's called The Choice. Okay, fresh off that cliffhanger, we're waiting to see who AJ chooses. Marita and Marie have both chosen her, knowing full well how much of a true player she really is. AJ chooses Marie. Whoa, my jaw was on the ground just like everybody else's. Borderline oh my golly wally moment. But we're saving that. Now I'm sitting here like, who else did Marita even talk to? Marita gives her speech talking about how she feels stupid, but whose fault is that really? You came on a show like this and talked to one person? All right, over to Pilar. She's telling everyone how she has a connection with Kyle and Bridget, who we already know are a couple. But JoAnna hearing this for the first time, she's like, oh shit, y'all boys going crazy. It's time for Pilar to choose. And she chooses Kyle. Oh my Lord, Bridget is getting cooked. Kyle also chooses Pilar, obviously. Now Bridget has to give this artificially intelligent created speech about how she has feelings for Ashley. What? Ashley's like, yes, well, it did feel good to be seen. Ashley, she only seen you because she was getting creamed. Bridget then chooses Ashley and has the nerve to say, yeah, in a lot of ways, this decision was really easy for me. Yeah, because your other two sugar plums slimed you. Ashley then, of course, chooses Bridget. She literally hasn't even met anyone else. Then we go over to Haley, and I'm thinking this gotta be Megan, and it is. Megan also chooses her. Poor thing already looking less sick. Dana's grumpy ass talking about, yeah, well, this is emotional. Girl, you're the one that wanted. Okay. Dana's up next. She tells JoAnna that Mel challenges her more than anyone else ever has. Then Mel gets to say her piece about her two connections, Brittany and Dana. Now it's Dana's turn to pick. She obviously picks Mel. They ask Brittany to go next. She chooses Mel, which we expected. Now it's Mel's turn to choose. She picks Dana. I'm assuming it's because she didn't want to get beat up for not picking Dana. Also, even though I think she likes Brittany more, she realized that Brittany has absolutely no interest in her, so a financial decision was made. Now look at us, left with just Marita and Brittany, AJ looking at her old thing with her older thing, cinema. Marita's over there like, well, at least she's... Marita's over there looking like, well, at least she's black. But I was just kidding when I said that, so just ignore it. So now that all of our couples are set, as it goes in every season of Ultimatum, we now go to some awkward scenes of them living together and trying to figure out who the fuck they even are. Dana and Mel are first. Dana's already driving me crazy, but the puzzles are cool. AJ and Marie are kind of vibing, and I kind of hate that I don't hate it. Nice little moment here when AJ asks Marie if she put her Crocs in sport mode, and Marie tells her, no. Does it look like I go anywhere in a hurry? And I'm afraid you may hate with that one. So, Brittany and Marita are basically introducing themselves to each other at this point, but Brittany is so freaking nice that she really doing the experience the whole way. She don't even want to be there, but she's like asking Marita what she likes, what are her dislikes. This girl, Brittany, you deserve better than AJ. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Ashley and Bridget in the second weirdest connection. I don't know what they was talking about, but I know at one point, Bridget was like, is this apartment like what you're used to? Ashley's like, no, this is smaller. What about for you? Bridget's like, yeah, this is definitely an upgrade. I can't prove this, but I know for sure that Bridget lives in a van. Then to Kyle and Pilar, which was the most awkward watch to start with. Luckily for them, though, that shit got way better when they start talking about like intruders, toothbrushes, and Kyle throwing her keys and wallet down the trash. They also talk about sleeping in socks, which I didn't even think was controversial. Doesn't everybody? The point is, we get a nice turnaround here because that thing started rough. Haley and Megan are talking about snoring and talking in their sleep. I'm just so happy that Megan found a connection. She hasn't looked sick in at least an episode and a half. Then they get serious because Megan talks about the physical. What? Megan, what you trying to do? Megan's like, yeah. I think the physical is very important, but what I'm focused on is getting to know you on an intellectual level and really leaning into the process and focusing on being a good partner. Megan, whoa, excuse me, you trying to get the Nobel Peace Prize? We are now at trial marriages day 1. Everyone's waking up like, who the fuck is sleeping next to me? But we do find out that Kyle and Pilar were spooning. Megan went from wanting to go home to freestyle rapping in bed with a stranger. Marie and AJ with that stupid ass pussy cat joke. Okay, get serious. Because now we're going over to Brittany and Marita. And you know that anytime the Netflix has to use that Ring camera, some shit's about to go down. Turns out that Brittany is just sad about being away from AJ. Marita's freaking nice ass is like, do you want a hug? And I guess that hug has some power. Because Brittany's like, no, yeah. I'm good. I'm going to stay. Boom! Episode 4. This one's called Secret Rendezvous. We continue on with week 1 of our trial marriages. Over to Pilar and Kyle. And Pilar is asking Kyle how she's so sure that she knows she wants to marry the first person she had a real relationship with. Pilar basically doesn't like the finality of marriage. This is where we get into that eating cake discussion, which sounds stupid, but is actually very important, and we're going to unpack that. This is on the level of that what came first, the chicken or the egg question. Philosophers have studied this for centuries. Philosophers have been studying this for centuries. This is deep. All right. Pilar's whole thing is like this. Eating one cake for the rest of your life. I would like to try other cakes. I love cakes now. And Kyle is like, well, if I have a cake that I like and it's good, why do I need another one? Pilar says, it's not that you need another one, but why is that? It's not that you need another one, but why is that the only one, right? Pilar, what you're asking about is an open relationship. And dating Haley for 10 years, I can't believe you're now thinking about this. I literally cannot wait to hear what y'all got to say about this in the comments. Because when it comes to open relationships, if you ask me, Okay, we got to move on because we got night vision, people. Look alive. You know what that means when you see night vision. Someone is creeping. Turns out, though, it was just AJ telling Brittany that she's getting in the way. Even that dog was like, where the fuck you think you're going? Dookie exposed the hell out of AJ. I ain't gonna hold you. She's like, hey, wake up Marie. She's like, oh, yeah, she's up now. She's up. AJ tells Marie, okay, look, I haven't been transparent with you. I've seen Brittany twice. But from here on out, I'm going to start telling you the truth. Marie's like, yeah, sure, thanks. Listen, you're in charge of your own grief. And I don't even know what that means, but if someone told me that, I would think they are pissed. AJ's trying to put her Memphis Grizzlies hat back on, but I'm afraid it's too late. She's telling Marie, like, please, you let me know if there's anything I can do or that I'm not doing to be a better partner. Marie tells us she kind of feels like a fool for thinking there was a real connection there with AJ. And honestly, Marie, you kind of are a fool. There was at least 18 other women trying to warn you. Ugh. Then that awkward ass scene with AJ on her laptop doing work. Man, work is really killing me right now. I would do anything to switch with you, Marie. Marie's like, if you don't shut your... She didn't say that, but she was... All right, whatever. Over to Dana and Mel cooking. I don't know what they was talking about, but I have to address the fact that Mel asked if this was the sun. Like, what the fuck? You think that's Jupiter? Anyway, they like each other and are surprised that things are going so well. A couple more quick boring scenes here. Megan telling Haley about her family not being accepting of her and wanting to put her foot down. Pilar and Kyle are at dinner. Pilar talking about how she would normally go for someone louder. Kyle grappling with the fact that she may have feelings for her. Then with Dana and Mel, Mel took the gum out of Dana's mouth and ate it. I mean, I wrote that, but did that happen? Either way, then we see that Marie seen them canoodling. Freaking Marie is getting cooked. Then back with Haley and Megan. Megan seen the canoodle too. Everybody seen the damn canood. Okay, now we got the oh my golly wally moment of the episode because we got our first freaking makeout. Dana and Mel are going nuclear. And she got a handful. Now to the entire opposite end of the oh my golly wally spectrum. We're with Brittany and Marita. Marita bought Brittany flowers. Marita is the nicest person on this whole show. I ain't seen someone this nice on Netflix since Love on the Spectrum. Then for some reason we get a scene with Ashley and Bridget, who we all obviously forgot was even on this show. But this is a serious moment, so we will act accordingly. This is where Ashley is telling Bridget about a very toxic ex that she had. Apparently, They were in a very abusive relationship, Ashley being the victim of it. She tells Bridget the story of a time when her and this ex got into some kerfuffle. The police showed up, and Ashley tells the police, "Oh, no, no, no. Everything's good here." You know, we hear about this all the time where the victim is trying to protect, you know, their partner. Understandable, sad, but understandable. The cops, being nosy as fuck, they don't leave. They linger around, and they hear some more kerfuffling. Ashley gets knocked down to the ground. Now the cops pull up, start throwing people in cuffs. They go to court, and Ashley still lies on behalf of her ex. Well, it's just a sad story. Like, Ashley, we never get to even talk to Ashley, but to hear this, we're like, all right, this, you know, she real, and she got shit that she's been through. And I'm sure she's grown since then, but just a very serious moment between Ashley and Bridget to then bring them even closer. This next scene is so crazy. I hope y'all wasn't scrolling on TikTok or Instagram and didn't miss it. Because if you did, you're going to have to go back and rewind it. What episode is this for? Yeah, get there. This is where we got our first makeout with Dana and Mel. So Netflix cut back to them still going at it. They making out, they going crazy. But the problem with Netflix is that they so damn petty. They so freaking petty. The editors at Netflix, who are y'all? Are y'all me? Because they don't got no right to do this. They cut from a Dana Mel smoochathon to Marie literally asking her cat to marry her. Listen, for anyone out there who be watching these reviews and don't watch the actual show, yes. Anyway, that's a great segue into Trial Marriages Week 2. Two quick scenes here. One is nonsense. This is Dana and Mel. They're concerned about how much time they spend together and whether it's too much and if they should spend some time apart doing things separately. Okay, yeah, great. Waste everybody's time. But Mel does say that she's becoming more open to getting married if she found someone that understood her reservations. Then we end with Kyle and Pilar. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back in night vision mode. So you know that means something went down. Apparently, Pilar hit Kyle with the non-consensual makeout. The next day they talk about it. Kyle's like, look, I wasn't comfortable, even though I had fun. Pilar's like, what the hell? Here I was thinking this was a mutual smooch, but it wasn't. Kyle's kind of making it seem that Pilar was the one doing all the canoodling, but Pilar, she's got something to say. Boom! Episode 5. This one's called Behind Closed Doors. This is exactly what I wrote down to start the episode. Mel and Dana are going fucking nuts. Oh my golly Wally, the credits ain't even roll, but Dana's eyes did. Ayo. It's journalism. Unfortunately though, we have to leave them and go back over to Pilar and Kyle, who are having a passive aggressive off. Pilar's like, look, you're not taking accountability, and I am. It wasn't just me out here sending mixed signals. But Kyle finally does. She's like, hey, no, you're right. I was sending mixed signals. Maybe I had more of a role in that makeout than I initially let on. I don't know. I guess they worked it out because they decided to start over. Can we get back to that Dana and Mel freak off? Anybody? Not yet. Because first, we're with Haley and Megan. And Haley's going to meet two of Megan's friends, Allie and Nikki. And I ain't going to hold you. These two look so tough. I thought they was going to knock me down with that damn hug. On God, I don't know what they was talking about in this scene, but it was right here. Stop. It was right here where I realized that Megan looks like Phineas from Phineas and Ferb. I couldn't figure it out. Sorry. Over to the snooze fest that is AJ and Marie. Marie's telling AJ that she's never felt this lonely before and how Mel won't even look at her anymore. When it rains, it freaking pours. Marie's kind of jealous that AJ can just go talk to Brittany whenever she wants. Okay, quick scene here with Brittany and Marita, which would have appeared skippable to the untrained eye, but you guys come here for the real. And because y'all know that I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. This is where Brittany talks to Marita about Marita always being happy. Marita's trying to explain to Brittany that she's just so selfless that she wants to make sure that everyone else around her is good before worrying about her own needs. But she's self-aware enough to know that this is happening and that it stems from her childhood. Honestly, it's a lot of people out there that walk around with that extra large smile on their face and everybody thinks everything is all peachy. And it's only because they don't want to burden anyone else with their problems. That's why I always be telling y'all, check on your strong friends. And that is also not financial advice. The point is, what's cool for Marita here is that Brittany is literally the perfect person to hear this. Brittany is literally her life coach at this point. This is the most unexpected couple in the end, but it worked out so perfectly for them just to be like homies and just help each other go through this whole crazy thing. If Marita ended up in a trial marriage with AJ, she would have told AJ that, and AJ would have offered her a freak down for her trouble, then called her mom on FaceTime so she could watch the whole thing, then deliver some pointed yet unsolicited feedback. Anyway, before we leave Marita and Brittany, I have to address the fact that after that heart-to-heart, Marita literally asked Brittany, should we watch Norbit now? Listen, knowing that AJ said that her mom wants to know if her girlfriends are eating her outright, this will still be the craziest thing uttered this entire season. Over to Dana and Mel in the park arguing about life choices, what Dana wants, what Mel wants, I don't know. Mel is telling Dana about her ailments, and apparently she was told by her doctors that she can't have kids because either she would die or the kid would die. But Marie don't even know that. Like, imagine you find that out about your girl on Netflix. Okay, we go from a serious moment to what I can only describe as maybe the horniest 10 minutes in the Ultimatum short yet storied history. Starting with Marita and Brittany somehow finding a way to make Wendy sound horny, talking about how wet and creamy the dressing is. After we leave them, we get the craziest moment of the season. It might be the craziest moment of all the seasons. It's not even oh my golly Wally. This is what would have invented oh my golly. Dana and Mel walk into their apartment and Dana proceeds to pull her freaking titties. Listen, when I first seen this thing, I paused it. I rewinded it to make sure I saw what I think I just saw. I had to send my sister a voice note just to express my feelings. Let's listen in.
Yo, oh my God. What is life, bro? I'm literally here watching the Ultimatum Queer 2. Oh. I just had to pause it, bro. It's too crazy in here, bro. Netflix really wildin', bro.
I mean, she had no context. I didn't even explain what I had just seen. I just had to get it off my chest. Anyway, we ain't done with the horny Olympics yet, because then we go over to Bridget and Ashley doing that pottery like in Ghost. Now, this is the couple that no one really cares about, but they do get closer episode by episode. They're making these freaking pottery things, talking about some, now put your fingers in deeper. I'm telling you, everybody's so damn horny. Oh, you thought we was done with Pixar's Toy Horny 3? No. We're just getting started. Because now we're over with Haley and Megan. You telling me Haley and Megan are getting canoodly? Ain't no way. They talking about connecting physically and how it brought them closer. I'm watching this like, wait a minute. Did they? Haley tells us they could have gone through with the experiment and not done it, but they would have regretted it. I'm sorry. What? Megan comes on screen. It's like she's talking directly to me. She's like, look, Chris, we hooked up all the way. Let's freaking go. Oh, man. I didn't think they had it in them. Sheesh. And not to be that guy, but just to put things into perspective, Haley just got her first freak down in 10 years. And Pilar's over there apologizing for makeouts. The shit is different. Pilar the one that want to eat everybody cake. Couldn't even get a little cake. All right. We have made it to Trial Marriages Week 3. The final week. Y'all better get all that freaky, horny shit out of your system from now. We start week 3 with Dana and Mel. Mel is meeting Dana's family. They seem cool, it's regular, but they do spend a lot of time talking about how much they like Megan. So Now, after that meetup, apparently Dana called Megan. Now, we going to have to put Dana on crash out watch because apparently she was pouring her heart out and Megan was like, I literally don't give a fuck. And if you don't stop calling me, I'm going to block you. What? Mel's like, wait, what happened? Dana's like, I feel like I'm going to die right now. And, you know, just before you start feeling a little too bad for Dana, let's not forget this moment. Yeah. Okay, Netflix really trying to spice things up because they set up a night for all the Ultimatum getters to hang out, which is genius. They also let the Ultimatum givers go out. It's way less lit, but, you know. Okay, what all even happened here? Marie complaining about AJ, of course. Brittany standing up for her woman. Megan tells Pilar, I would never do anything to hurt you. Now, did I smash your girl from here to the Everglades? Yes. But I would never hurt you. Then Mel calls out Megan for being a dick to Dana. They spend some time talking one-on-one. Even Dana is telling her people that she might be done with Megan because of how she treated her. Haley talking about I didn't even hear that conversation. She's like, I don't believe you. Nah, this gotta be the new NBA All-Star format because it ain't nothing but one-on-ones. Then Megan and Mel talk, no idea what they was talking about. Marie and Dana talk. Dana tells Marie, I literally need her in my life. Marie's like, you guys like each other? Dana's like, yeah. Then Haley grabs Marie to snitch on Dana smashing Mel. Poor Marie ain't heard a piece of good news in centuries. Marie tells AJ that she just found out that Dana and Mel are smashing. AJ's like, yikes. That's tough. You know you can get back at her. I'll call my mom right. Let's move on. Anyway, Marie got a crash out loading because she wants to know the truth tonight. Boom! Episode 6. This one's called The Changeover. We're almost there. You guys are doing so good. Okay, we start with a Marie and Mel meetup. Sponsored by Hyundai. Okay, you need to get serious because this is important. Marie calls out Mel for smashing Dana. Like, it gotta be an oh my golly wally moment. Marie says, I'm asking you right now, have you guys fucked? Can you really say that didn't happen? Mel looks her right in the eye. She says, I'm saying no. Oh my God, this is a TV show. Like, it's on TV. She tells Marie, we do have a connection, but we've only kissed. Now, I guess in all fairness, we don't have the smoking gun confession of smashing like we got from Haley and Megan. But if even I've seen Dana's titties, ain't no way y'all just kissed. But Marie better than me. She tells Mel, well, maybe I'm off my hinges, but I believe you. Just don't make me look like a fucking fool. And Marie, I don't know that I'm the person that should be telling you this, but you indeed already look like a fool. Okay, what else do we got here? We got Haley and Megan talking about Danagate. Then Dana goes back to Mel. Mel's like, damn, this bitch Haley's onto us. She told Marie we're fucking. Now Dana's out here blood walking. She's like, who the fuck does she think she is? Give me her number right now. I'm going to call her. I want her to tell her to my face. Let me see these receipts she got. Receipts? I don't know. She probably saw your titties too. Okay, now we're going to take a break. We're going with Kyle and Pilar. Pilar's meeting Kyle's parents. Kyle and her mom are literally clones. And funny enough, we find out that she gave her husband an ultimatum. How would you look at that? This whole meetup, though, Kyle's mom is freaking spitting, especially when Pilar tells her that her family is not accepting of her lifestyle. She got everybody up in there crying. Over to AJ and Marie, where Marie's trying to convince herself that there's no way that Dana and Mel smashed because it would, and I quote, complicate things. Yeah, okay. Then we're back with Mel and Dana. Mel is saying that she told Dana that she would love to be more than friends, but she wants to hear Dana say it. I swear, Dana is the most hot and cold person on this whole show. Over to Haley and Megan. Megan is about to meet Haley's dad, her sister, and her niece, which the damn niece looked like the sister. Naturally, the family asks, so, how's it been going? Haley's like, it's been going great. We agree on literally everything. Girl, y'all first date, y'all disagreed about kids. But Haley's sister ain't new to this either. She's like, what about kids? Haley's like, damn, Well, yes, as you know, I never wanted to carry a child, but Megan over here says she will hold me down. Haley's dad's looking around like he just realized his daughter's dating him. Whatever. Overall, the family is fucking with Megan, but that freaking sister kid can't help but cry about Pilar. I'm sure she known Pilar damn near her whole life. We take a break from them to get a word from our wholesome sponsors, Brittany and Marita. Who even knows what these non-toxic queens was talking about? But it was non-toxic. Okay, couple final scenes to end the episode before we get into our changeover. Dana and Mel got matching tattoos. Holy moly. AJ tells Marie that she needs toys because, and I quote, I like my thing to swang. Brittany got Marita eating oxtail. Oh my God. This girl not only invited to the cookout, she already there. Bridget and Ashley are somehow still on this show, but dare I say they're growing on me. Ugh, I'm weak. Dana and Mel have an emotional moment. Dana wrote Mel this nice ass note, and I'm like, oh shit, this is getting heavy. Freaking Mel wrote her a note too. Everyone in there crying. This thing is heating up. Then speaking of heating up, we go back to Haley and Megan. Goddamn, everyone's really just out here crying. Megan pours her heart out to Haley. Then asks Haley, what are you thinking? Haley tells Megan, I love you. Megan says, I love you too. Oh my golly Wally. You've been dating Pilar for 10 years. Ain't told no one else you love them for the last 10 years. You've been with Megan for 3 weeks. Listen, I'm never going to stand in the way of anyone falling in love. But you better fucking tell Pilar you like cake too. Okay, now we have reached the changeover. Somehow, some way. The first debrief is with Marita and Brittany. Marita, of course, had an excellent time. She even talks about eating the oxtail. AJ's like, I'm sorry, what? She made you oxtail? Marita's like, chill out, P. Rizzy. There's leftovers. Funny enough, Ashley came in a little spicy here, talking about seems like they make a great couple. Ashley, relax. Then her and Bridget debrief, simple, to the point. Translation, I wasn't listening. Okay, get serious. We move on to Kyle and Pilar. Overall, they are just saying stuff. Pilar is word vomiting until she calls out Haley for posting on her Instagram that she's waiting to be found. What? Haley's like, look, bitch, I only did that because you posted Kyle with the hard eyes, then blocked me. Pilar's like, oh yeah? You trying to say there's nothing going on between you and Megan? Megan jumps in. She's like, all right, everybody relax. I'll tell you everything you want. I'll tell you everything you want to know. And boom! That's episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Man, holy moly. Okay, listen, we have a lot to unpack here. If you're still with me, let me do the thing I did last time. Give me that hashtag all the way. If you stuck with it all the way, hashtag all the way. Do that in the comments. We gonna be back next week, July 2nd, with more episodes. Maybe it's all the rest. I don't even know. But let me do my little ending thing. As always, thanks for checking out Taste Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. Look, in the comments, y'all already know. Do what y'all need to do down there. Hashtag all the way. Which I think about the couple so far. How wholesome is Brittany and Marita? Like, goals. We all need a friend like Brittany. And we all need to uplift a friend like Marita. Let that be a lesson to you. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. Honestly, y'all saw those titties? Oh, I was a little sick this week. That's why I sound so crazy. I mean, I don't know if I sound all the way crazy, if it's coming through to y'all, but my voice ain't back to what it need to be. So just stick with me and have patience.